Perhaps you've heard the story of the young single mother who was on welfare and stopped at a coffee shop. She sat there and started to write a story about a school for wizards. There's another story that I've heard about a young newspaper man who was let go from his first position because he didn't have enough imagination. There's another story I was surprised to hear about a young woman who was fired from her first job as a television journalist at a small station in Baltimore because she was too emotionally zealous about her job. It's lucky for us that those three people kept doing what they do, because had they not, we wouldn't know who Harry Potter was, there'd be no Mickey Mouse, and well, we wouldn't have an Oprah. What I have in common with these three people is that I am determined. I have a strong will, and I try to persevere no matter the situation, much like those three people. In my relationships, that's hurt me at times. As a young child and as a teenager, I was fairly rebellious and got into a decent amount of trouble. My parents usually knew what was best, but I tended to disagree. With my family and friends, sometimes they would give me good advice that I wouldn't take, or I would defend a point vehemently that I probably wasn't right about. Even in my extended network of people, my strong will tended to blind me from when strangers or people I didn't like were telling me something that I didn't want to hear from another viewpoint. But a good part of that is, as I grew up and developed a moral compass, my family realized that I wasn't rebellious as much as I had moral conviction. My loved ones realized that my determination and my strong will could turn into loyalty, and they took the bad with the good in those situations. And as I matured, I learned to listen. I learned to compromise the way I saw what people were saying and heard what people were saying, but not my own values. And this has affected my reputation positively throughout the years. My lifestyle has been affected negatively a few times from the world outside of my inner circle, because I was derailed from my career, from my education, and chose to go into a more career-minded set, trying to make more money than actually going to school and trying to better my life in that way. But I was determined. I was sure that I was doing the right thing. And whereas loyalty can be a good thing when people deserve it, there's also been times in my life where I was loyal to a fault, and those people may have taken me farther from where I wanted to be as well. I also have had a tendency to leave a job or two because I did not agree with a mission statement, a direction that people were going in, or maybe I didn't like the way that one of my coworkers or friends was treated. That's tended to have a negative effect too. But positively, at those same positions, if I really wanted a promotion and I was determined enough, I was going to get it. And I found myself in an administrative or managerial position several times over my life. I've also been determined in my personal life to live in North Carolina instead of where I grew up in Baltimore. There were plenty of times where I could have just said, no, I'm done, packed up and went home, but I never wanted to. And my life has been happier because of it. Another way I have to be determined, and my strong will is a positive, is in raising my daughter. Sometimes it can be very, very difficult, but keeping strong, going forward, and keeping my will where it sometimes isn't, it's the easiest thing to do, is necessary in that situation. What I never realized until I was thinking about this speech was that my strong will has affected other parts of my personality as well. I've had to be keener with my senses when I want to keep the eye on the prize. For instance, if I wanted a promotion at work, I was going to have to keep tighter lips in situations or develop better listening skills. Wanting to buy a home or save for bigger purchases has made me have to try to be better with my finances. And parenting is pretty difficult, but my strong will is helping me develop more patience. So in the end, I may not have invented Hogwarts or Disney World, and I can't give you a car, you a car, you a car, but my strong will has always paid off, and I am sure it will continue to do so. Thank you.